Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in the story and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Telev.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka. Woohoo!
Today FM is the most popular station in Asino.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Reki.
Everybody in Singapore loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.
Bulan 2 saya Tolu FM, 62 Raki-Raki.
Bula FM #2 in Nosor.
Go etabo ke buat sekolah Bula FM ngan.
Bula FM 62 Korbu.
Bula FM 62 Sawa. Bula FM 62 Lotoka. Bula.
62 Bula FM member.
Bula FM #2 NSR in Singapore.
Kalau tali tak ada warung yang Bula FM Lotoka.
Du alle akar warung Bula FM 62 NSR.
In the news tonight, Customs detained 2 containers following discovery of illicit drugs at Suva Wharf. Government intends to include preschool in free education initiative, and former army officer on trial claims he was set up. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. The Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority has seized 2 containers at the Suva Wharf for allegedly containing illicit drugs. Tests carried out by the government pharmacy on the samples taken from 2 sacks found in the container proved to be the drug gamma-hydroxybutyric acid, commonly known as GHB. Ritika Pratap reports.
The discovery was made last month in containers that were addressed to a local importer who had ordered 2 containers of soybean oil from China.
We came to know this through non-reconciliation of documents that were submitted by the importer, local importer, and the container, the actual content of a container. It again creates a suspicion from our customs officers to look deep into what really is the content of the container.
Customs officers also allegedly found irregularities in the importation documents provided by the importer.
Reconciling the 2 non-reconciled facts, documents, as well as the content of the container, then we found out that totally different content was inside the container, which is the drug itself.
Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority officers are investigating all aspects of the discovery of the drugs.
Certain that something else is, of course, being determined and established that indeed it is an illicit drug, and we've discussed it tentatively with the police, and later on during the course of this week we will hand over to the police for the investigation.
Gamma-hydroxybutyric acid is an illicit drug under the Illicit Drug Control Act 2004. GHB has been used in medical setting as general anesthetic to treat conditions such as insomnia, alcoholism, clinical depression, and to improve athletic performance. The containers are being guarded by police officers at the Suva Wharf. Police have not commented on the matter. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama wants early childhood education included in the government's free education policy, and this could be added to the initiative from 2015. In the 2014 budget, the government announced free education for primary and secondary schools. Christopher Chand reports.
Bainimarama wants education to be free for all children, including preschool and kindergartens.
The government is currently ironing out the precise details to ensure smooth transition for the start of the school year on January the 21st. But we're also working on a plan to provide free early childhood education for those outside the private kindergarten system. In the coming months, we'll be conducting a needs assessment of kindergartens across the country with a view to introducing tuition-free early childhood education in 2015.
Bainimarama made the announcement while reopening a kindergarten at Navutu village in Singatoka this afternoon.
Today we focus national attention on a small kindergarten in a relatively small village in Nandronga as part of our big vision for the future of our country. It is the future in which every Fijian will have an equal stake and no one will be left behind.
With government allocating $541.5 million towards education in the 2014 budget, it's likely this amount could increase further to cater for early childhood education in the 2015 budget.
We are working for a new Fiji, a better Fiji, in which the youngest of our children can look forward to a lifetime of opportunity as they grow up, putting Fiji first and making Fiji great for themselves and future generations.
Bainimarama's vision is to provide free education for everyone, which will help create a clever country, and he wants it to start from kindergartens. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Former Land Force Commander Pitan Riti told the Suva High Court this morning that he was set up by Brigadier General Muhammad Aziz. Riti has pleaded not guilty to a charge of inciting mutiny and committing a seditious act. Chanel Sivan has been following the trial.
While being cross-examined by State Counsel Audrey Campbell Moffat, Riti revealed the content of the alleged plan he got from Muhammad Aziz and former Army officer Colonel Ratu Tevita Ulelekemba Mara. He said the alleged plan was to stop Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama in Sudan, capture him, cancel his passport and get the support from the Kiwi and Australian Defence Forces, with all the documentation to be done by Aziz. Riti told Campbell Moffat that the alleged plan was not workable and non-executable, and he rejected the suggestion. He claims he was being set up because he regularly used to question the many ministerial portfolios that the Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Qayyum held. He went on to say the military council regularly discussed about him being against the Attorney General. Riti says he has no personal grudges against Sayed Qayyum and would not ask anyone to have him killed as alleged. Riti says the AG was his friend and that his wife was Sayed Qayyum's personal assistant at his previous job at the Colonial Bank. Riti says he was doing his checks and balances as a member of the military council. This afternoon, before closing, Judge Justice Paul Madigan questioned Riti on a few matters. He asked if Riti was set up. Why did he ask Aziz to explain the plan to him? Riti explained that as soon as he asked Aziz what he had to say on the plan, Aziz quickly responded saying, not to worry about it, as the plan is unexecutable. This plan was to overthrow the government. Riti says this made him suspect he was being framed or set up. Riti was also asked why he didn't tell the PM about this alleged plan. He says he thought the PM would eventually find about this himself. The case has been adjourned till Monday, where both the councils will give their closing remarks. Now Judge Justice Paul Madigan will sum up the case on Tuesday, followed by the verdict from the three assessors. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
People should be genuine and not just pay lip service if they want to help offenders rehabilitate, says the Special Administrator of Lami, Jasper Singh. He adds there is also a need for people to be sincere about accepting offenders back into the community. Vasita Kotewasawasa reports.
Businessman and Lami Town Administrator Jasper Singh used the launch of the Yellow Ribbon Project today to testify of the work of some of the inmates that he has taken on board at his family business.
I'm proud to say that I've got some working for me at the show buses. I don't hate them. I gave them a job. They work as hard as, even harder than the others.
The aim of the Yellow Ribbon Project is threefold. The first is to create awareness amongst the community of the need to give second chances to offenders. The second is to generate acceptance of the ex-offenders and their families into the community. And the third is to inspire community action to support the rehabilitation and the reintegration of ex-offenders back in their midst. The project is now in its 5th year of operation.
We need to work together to ensure a safe and successful reintegrations for our sons and daughters from our institutions back into their families, communities and societies. We need to reduce the number of offending coming into the institutions.
There are 1,504 inmates at all correctional facilities, and 63% of them are youths. The Fiji Correction Services says everyone needs to play a part in the successful reform of an inmate. Today's launch is the last for this year, and there are plans for similar activities in 2014. Fosita Kote Wasa, FBC News.
In the bulletin ahead, Chinese nationals fined for failing to declare large amounts of foreign currency in their possession.
It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singapore.
Old is gold, and Gold FM is #1 here in Lautoka.
Singatoka loves classic hits on Gold FM.
Listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Ba.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki.
Lautoka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. 2 Chinese nationals charged with failing to declare foreign currency at Nandi Airport were fined in the Nandi Magistrates Court today. Wanjiang Lu and Zhanghua Li were ordered to pay $4,000 each. The pair worked for China Railway and were caught on November 14th after they had checked in to depart for Hong Kong. Wanjiang was found with assorted foreign currency equivalent to more than 17,000 Fijian dollars, while Zhanghua was found with more than 15,000 Fijian dollars in assorted currency. Their fines are to be paid from the money that was seized by customs. Failing to do so will result in a term of 1 year imprisonment being imposed. A new service centre has been opened today, and it is hoped it will boost tourism in Fiji. Epelito Kawasa reports.
Shoppers will now be able to have their goods sent to any destination without leaving the comforts of the retail store. DHL Express Fiji Limited is partnering with Jax Fiji to provide this service to customers.
And we're here to unveil our service point, the DHL Express service point. So from DHL's point of view, tourism is a big industry for Fiji, and DHL Express has a global network. We're in 220 countries, and we interlink those countries we facilitate the trade between those countries.
The centre, which is the first one for both DHL and Jax, is located at the retail store in downtown Suva.
Make sure that we export Fiji to the world, and really that is what we're doing. We are the facilitators of trade, enabling Fiji to be visible on the world stage.
The service is available for both local and overseas destinations.
That's what we are looking at, giving value-added services to be on top of the market. So when customers come, they shop, we hand it over to DHL.
There are plans to expand this service to other Jax outlets around the country. Epeli Tuguasan, FBC News.
The Fiji Performing Rights Association distributed over $225,000 to its members today. The money was given as royalties for 2012 to its 564 local members. According to the association, arrangements have been made to distribute the royalties to its members living abroad.
Composers, they get paid for the use of playing of the music that they have composed. So all businesses who play their music have got to pay a license for the right to play this music. And the license fee that they pay is the one that gets distributed as royalty at the end of the year.
FPRA will hold its annual general meeting in Suva tomorrow. Friday night sports now, and Jamie, what do you have for us?
Well, coming up tonight, Coach Ben Ryan says he has the utmost confidence that his new men have the goods to perform on the world stage, and our Fijiana out to prove a point at the Dubai Sevens. Details after the break.
Ando talita kana borrongo na Radio Fiji 1 singa toka mboleta ni station ni alumatua.
Ando talita kabale una borrongo na Radio Fiji 1 station ni alumatua ilo toka.
Ando talita kabale una borrongo na Radio Fiji 1 e mandi na station ni alumatua.
Au tungoi korbo ando borrongo leve na station ni alumatua na Radio Fiji 1. Ando borrongo na Radio Fiji 1 na station ni alumatua na bandoi tele.
Bato bahe, बामे रेडियो Fiji 2 के कौन सा के रोके ऑनलाइन क्लियर
रेडियो Fiji 2 रकी के लोग ज्यादा सुनते हैं।
नैनी में हम सबकी पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2।
तालेबू के लोग रेडियो Fiji 2 सबसे ज्यादा सुन रहे हैं।
मेरी पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2, मसूरी में सभी को पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2।
टावा में रेडियो Fiji 2 सभी कोई सुनते हैं।
रेडियो Fiji 2 रॉक।
रेडियो Fiji 2 I love you।
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The Fiji 7 side departed for Dubai this afternoon with coach Ben Ryan hoping to change the fortunes of the side. He leaves with the confidence that his new players will not suffer stage fright playing on the international scene for the first time. Indra Singh with more.
Despite having 4 new caps in the side, the Fiji 7's team management say it will be a baptism of fire, which the players will pass with flying colours. And the coaching staff will guide the players well to avoid any meltdown in their first outing in Dubai.
There's definitely the unknown about selection. So you take someone like Mosese, who's come from really nowhere in the last few weeks, and he's played very well for Yananthea, but really it's a very sudden move for him. So we got to be careful with him. We've got to make sure the senior players talk to him and give him every opportunity. But I know it's like, you can't recreate 50,000 people Friday night playing England 9 o'clock at night, grounds thumping, and it's live on TV, and you represent your country. You sink or swim, and I'll give him every opportunity to swim fast and hard, and I'm sure those guys will do well.
Picking Osea Kolinisau as skipper was a no-brainer for Ryan. He picked the Lao native based on boxes. Kolinisau ticked off for the role.
Number one thing for the captain is making sure that you're good enough to be in your starting side, and Osea's playing really good football at the moment, and he's great on the field, communicating really well with the players, and off the field, leading by example, keeping them disciplined and professional, and very thankful for that.
As the team departed today for the Desert Sands, Ryan will be hoping his luck rubs off on the side. After all, he has led his former team England to wins in Dubai, where Fiji has not been so lucky after all. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Team Fijiana will be on a mission in Dubai. They may have fallen short at the Moscow World Cup Sevens earlier this year, but being invited to the first tournament of the Women's Rugby 7 series this season is their chance to make amends. For Fijiana, it will be about showing the rest of the world they have the same capabilities as men in sports. Elena McDonald reports.
They returned from Moscow with the bowl. At Australia's Noosa tourney, they upset world champs New Zealand. Now, Fijiana's headed to Dubai, and they're excited.
I feel great about it. This is the first time for me to go to Dubai, and it's a dream come true for us to represent Fiji.
With the local club side beating the Aussie Pearls and Fijiana claiming the Bailey's Coralco Sevens title, this outfit is ready to face pool opponents New Zealand, USA and Ireland.
We're expecting a tough games against them because they are a very strong team. Especially they've been through to the Rugby tournament every now and then. For us, this is the first time for us, but we're not taking anything lightly.
Fijiana's no doubt gotten a lot fitter, more experienced and tougher, and there's just a few things they're looking to fine-tune.
Till now we're working on our kick-off and our defensive line.
Making the quarters is their aim, and with their achievements so far, it could very well happen. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
As the Vodafone Fiji Mbati prepare to face Australia in the Rugby League World Cup semi-final, the Kangaroos are anticipating a brutal encounter. The Aussies beat Fiji in pool play, but they still fear the Mbati will come out with all guns blazing. They have named their strongest lineup, hinting they will not underestimate Fiji.
Yeah, their completion rate was very good. If it's dry, they're obviously going to be more dangerous. So are we, obviously, I believe. Because those conditions when we played them at St Helens were the worst I think that anyone's played under this tournament, and it was a very good game. Their completion level was up 90%, and ours was just behind it, so that was a quality game. So I'd expect a very physical game. Petra will be leading them. It's do or die. Last time we played there wasn't that issue. Now there's no further competition if you get eliminated, so it should be very physical, and that's what we're looking for, a really tough game.
The game will be played at 4:30 a.m. on Sunday. The Fiji Car Club's plan for 2 more car sprints before the end of the year still stands. With rain forcing the cancellation of the sprints a fortnight ago, the car club now hopes to hold the race this weekend. Shelvin Chand reports.
It was quite unfortunate that the race had to be called off, as a large number of entrants were expected. Fingers are crossed for good weather.
The last time the weather wasn't real on our side.
We're hoping 24th being the next date for this, which is this weekend, this Sunday. If weather permits, that is. If not, then we're looking at the 1st of December, which is probably the likelihood outcome for this event.
There is hope that the cancellation of the race has provided the racers more time to work on their cars.
The more time you have, the more tunings you can do, the more upgrades you can do. So yes, after every race, there's a whole lot of things that go under the hood just to make the timings improve. And definitely, yes, this is a blessing in disguise.
Safety is one thing the Fiji Car Club will not be compromising on. An incident in the October race will see drivers being briefed on the do's and don'ts.
Every time we have a race, we have very strict and very stringent safety issues. Things do happen, there are certain things that are out of our control, but definitely things are going to be much more strict on this occasion. We're going to do a whole lot more briefings for the drivers.
Should the Fiji Car Club pull off the 2 races before the end of the year, 2013 would be the year with the most number of car sprints. Shalvin Chan, FBC Sports.
Day 2 of the Fiji Police Interformation Soccer Competition got underway today at the Nasova grounds in Suva. Undefeated Western Division 1 is the top team in Pool A and have a spot in the semi-finals. They will face Central Police District. In Pool B, headquarters, led by former national goalkeeper Aquila Matai Suva, are the top seeds and will face Northern Division in the second semi-final tomorrow. Police is using the 3-day tournament to select its team for the Sukuna Challenge title against the Army next month. That was your sports for tonight. Good evening.
The role of women and their achievements in the corporate and commercial sector will be recognized at the Women in Business Awards night early next year. Nominations for the event will start soon following the launch of the Women in Business Awards 2013 in Suva last night. Apisalome Doka reports.
The Women in Business Awards is one event the commercial sector looks forward to. It's an opportunity for everyone to pay tribute to and recognize the outstanding commercial contribution of women to the socio-economic development of the country.
It's all about celebration of women's achievement in the commerce world. So to encourage more women to participate in the corporate commercial sector, to encourage our corporates to put women in leadership roles and leadership positions in the commercial world.
The event has the major support of the country's oldest bank.
We want to be the bank that is the preferred banker, where we are able to help the women in this country with their financial options, deliver financial literacy, educate them, bring them to the next level, and be able to deliver to our community.
The awards night will be held in March 2014 with categories such as Business Women of the Year, Executive Women of the Year, and Aspiring Entrepreneur of the Year. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
Weather time now. So Jen, what's the latest?
Extremely hot today, Jackie. But I'll get to that in a minute. Cloudy in most places this morning. Savu being the exception over here, it was also another case of showers and thunderstorms. Now, those of us in town may not have seen or felt it, but this was highly likely along the coastal areas. Looking at the chart here, and oddly enough, Suva was only 31 degrees. And I say only because it seemed a lot hotter in the capital. I hesitate to think how hot it must have been in Lambasa, who's on 32. Speaking of Lambasa, it's going to be nice and sunny there tomorrow morning. The same goes for Nandi, Lautoka and Ba. Suva and Savasavu, on the other hand, will start the day off with some cloudiness. And true to form, showers and thunderstorms will eventuate in the afternoon. Lastly, here's a beautiful photo to end the week with. The gardens of the sleeping giant in the jet set town. Thanks, Margaret, and thank you to everyone else for all the photos. Keep sending them in and have a fantastic weekend.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The main points once again. The Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority has detained 2 containers at the Suva Wharf for allegedly carrying illicit drugs. Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama wants early childhood education to be included in the government's free education policy, and this could be included in the initiative from 2015. And the trial of former Army officer Pitanriti, who is charged with inciting mutiny and committing a seditious act, has been adjourned for summing up on Monday, where both the councils will give their closing remarks. To our poll question now, and we're asking, is there a role for the Commonwealth in Fiji's development? Visit our FBC website to answer. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's all from us tonight. You can join Amrita Priyadashni tomorrow with the weekend news. I'll be back again on Monday. Until then, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Ni Modamanta.
Gold on Tower में it's only Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
बाकी हर घर में खाली मिर्ची FM बजे. Mirchi FM it's hot.
Best sound, best music. Mirchi FM rocks and records.
Nani का #1 station है Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot. Mirchi FM is #1 in nursery.
Mirchi FM is hot. हम लोग Mirchi FM रोज सुनता है. Mirchi FM जागो मामा. Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in nursery and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Telew.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka.
Woohoo! Today FM is the most popular station in Nasino.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Reki Reki.
Everybody in Singapore loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.